Happy Sunday with Nix. How are you? How are you? How are you? Did you miss me? I kind of missed you. I just took in like a plethora of information over the weekend. Some of it was voluntarily. Some of it just happened. I did some cleaning out last year, and for some of it, I did not throw away everything. And something kept saying, "Don't throw that bag away." So when I finally went back through it, I found that there were some very important things in the bag that I'd almost thrown away. And in that bag, I had found my father's freedom papers. And when I say freedom papers, I'm talking about his divorce. And now, suddenly, when I say 1999, it has so much more importance. So, shout out to myself and dad for getting a divorce and keeping records of it. Yay, yay, yay. My free day was May 1st, 2023. Like, I was so elated, even though he screamed when it was really real. Like, he absolutely went a few octaves up. I'd never heard that man make that sound before in my life. It was like, I was so glad COVID was in because I had a mask on so he could not see the look on my face. But that was one of those days that you just mark in your head forever. Like, was that the sound? So I remember that day. But even more so, I found my dad's freedom papers, and it was 1999 that he was definitely emancipated from paying any residue, owing anything to aforementioned plaintiff or defendant, right? So they had a clean separation, and I was the only thing that was to be the common bond. I found the pocket watch, and for some it means nothing, but to me it means a lot to have his things, right? So knowing that I'm finding the things in time, wow, right? That he needs me to find in time. So that contract, from contract to contract, we both got our freedom papers. We both knew what had to be done. You cannot move on without getting a divorce. So anybody who's like telling you they're separated or whatever have you, and they have not done the paperwork, they're not really serious about you, okay? They should get a divorce. If someone really wants to be with you, they're going to get a divorce. But furthermore, when a person gets a divorce from somebody, don't let don't try to triangulate your next spouse with your old spouse, okay? And certainly, if your next spouse is to be as good as your old spouse, then let that old spouse go. You understand? Don't keep holding on to the old spouse, especially if you've already spoken your piece about that old spouse. Why should you go reaching back if you've already tarnished your ex's name? If you've already crossed it out by saying, "Oh, I hate this person, I don't want this person," why should you keep reaching back and trying to gain access, or trying to be connected, or trying to cause issues in someone's life that you've already disconnected from, right? So that's a lot about divorce. And with time, this is why you should give yourself time in between relationships, because you need time to end the contract, not just on paper, but physically and mentally. A lot of times when a person hasn't cleared themselves out from the old energy, a lot of times they're just collecting old energy, and it's going to eventually make someone start glitching out. So kudos to those who know how to make the steps, who know how to have the good talks, and who actually know how to go forward. Some steps are harder for some than others, but it is imperative that you end some things out before you pick up other things. And it is not good to keep reaching back. If you've already said that this well has been dried up, why are you then reaching for a well that you have stated yourself is dry, right? Yeah, so that's out for the hypocrisy of some people. They will talk about people that they're no longer with, but yet they'll still keep reaching back unbeknownst to some people. And you don't understand why your new relationship that you think is new is not going well, is because you still have old energy being siphoned on in order to maintain the new relationship that you have. And that's something that's important for you to know. Even though this person may be saying you're the greatest since the last person and so and so and so forth, be easy. Don't be fighting the ghost of your last person's ex. Be easy. Try not to get into competition with that, because that makes you look foolish and you don't understand what's going on. And a lot of times your ex won't tell you that they can't get over it. They've lied. They've done a lot of things that they haven't closed out from the older, from the old relationship. So you guys can't move forward peacefully because that person definitely has not moved on, even though they say all the things and do all the things with you. Most of the things that you're probably getting is because despite, or because the ex taught them, or it's despite them. They want to do a little bit of a better job or give you an opportunity that they never gave the ex, even though it really has nothing to do with you. You're smiling, they're smiling, you guys are smiling for way different reasons, okay? So be mindful. Yeah, Father Time is definitely reaching out here. So sorry for those of you who had not had the opportunity to have a father or do not know how to be a father. There are so many ways and so many examples out here for you to follow. I can't be your dad, and no, you're not my son. So that aforementioned, let's just keep going. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Congratulations and condolences to those who are losing people. Congratulations to those who are gaining memories and gaining milestones and everything like that, right? And happy birthday to the Geminis, to the Geminis. Yes. Happy birthday to us. Yes, 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 yes. And, yeah, let's just keep moving. I still got my notes from the park. And yeah, I'm still singing that song. What? Fellas, it's some jealous guys in this town. Oh, baby. Ooh. I don't remember what year. It was Puff Daddy. That would think of this his first album after Biggie passed away. You know, Biggie was May the 22nd, right? He was Gemini too. Just like Pac, it's strange how that one guy got in between those two Geminis who could have been really good friends had they not had somebody exercising all of the extra personalities in between them, right? So no wonder him, who was supposed to just be the producer, he ends up wanting to make a album after all this in between. Want to know why? Because he felt like he had taken enough notes from both guys to do that. And honestly, he did get a bit of the flair from Biggie and Tupac. And once he put it together and put it into his lover boy attention swag, it like played out a little better for him than we all thought, right? So fellas, it's some jealous guys in this town. Oh, babe, woo, 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 woo. That was a really good satire album. It was funny, and it pointed to the fact that he is a comedian. He actually naturally had some type of talent, but he was so busy hating on the interim that, yeah, he just was like so divisive when it came to other things. It was just, wow, how that entertainment took a loop from all that. So what you could gather from there is it's not that jealous guys and guys that aren't enemies won't work together. Sometimes they end up being real close because, yeah, the keep the enemies closer thing is true to an extent. See, like, guys can hang together and absolutely hate each other's guts because they see the bigger picture. They're like, okay, I'm going to make money with him. This person has something that I need, this, that, and the third. Da, 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 da. Well, you could go into a room of 30 guys and not know that every last one of them don't like each other. They'll still get money together. But it's a little different with women. Like, eventually that whole thing gonna play out. Somebody's going to call somebody out. Somebody's going to go a bit too far. Somebody's going to try to like pull rank real fast. So that is said. Women, we're not good at hiding that. Men, they can pretty much be friends for 1,000 years and they'll be throwing like mental jabs for all those years, and they just enjoy the game, right? So that's the guys game, and the women's game isn't that hidden, but it's starting to be. So use your discernment, right? Use your discernment. We have a lot of people who like to operate in the shadows. They don't have a what original bone in their body, and they do operate like that. So just watch out for people who are always dual, always dual. They can sit in a room full of enemies and play nice. That's a bit dangerous. That is a bit dangerous. Let me go find some lip gloss, because since I'm going to be talking, my lips are going to be dry. All right. This is not the one that I wanted, but this is the one that I grabbed. Yeah, I did not want this. I was looking for the ghetto bomb. When I say that, I'm just talking about the one that just doesn't require all that. I just wanted the sticky ghetto bomb one, and I can't find it. I really can't find the one that I was looking for, but I definitely did not want to be wearing snobbish first thing in the morning. Who the heck does that? Wipe it off. Yeah, I didn't want to go that fancy first thing in the morning. Why? Why would I do that? Yeah, a ghetto bomb. Yeah, so I love these. And when I say ghetto bomb, I don't mean it like that. I mean, it's like cheap, and it does the best thing. It does what I need it to do, which is moisturize. Doesn't need to be fancy. It's good. Yeah, cool. All right, bam. So with that being said, I found like a whole bunch of literature when I found the freedom papers of my dad's, right? I found a circular, which lets me know my dad was on some type of a mission, right? And I can't say all of it because I don't want to like sting anyone, but we'll know who it's for when I start reading it, right? So it says, look at the current methods of containment that they use on themselves: ignorance, greed, and selfishness. All right. Their ignorance is the primary weapon of containment. A great man once said, the best way to hide something is to put it in a book. I'm skipping words. We now live in the information age, the age of Aquarius. They have gained the opportunity to read any book on any subject through the efforts of their fight for freedom, yet they refuse to read. There are numerous books readily available at Borders, Barnes and Nobles, and Amazon.com, not to mention their own bookstores that provide solid blueprints to reach economic equality, which should have been their fight all along. But few read consistently, if at all. Greed is another powerful weapon of containment. I have to skip. 2.22%. Oh my God. They spend large amounts of money at their disposal. Last year, they spent $10 billion during Christmas out of their $450 billion in total yearly income. 2.22%. Any of us can use them as our target market for any business venture we care to dream up. No matter how outlandish, they will buy into it. That's as far as I'll go into that one. Selfishness, ingrained into their minds, is one of the major ways we can continue. A talented 10th. Pay attention to this. Who wrote this? Oh boy, we hitting something here. Du Bois. A talented 10th, he called it. It's a nasty truth, and I'm going to say it. He was correct in his deduction that there are segments of their culture that has achieved some form of success. However, that segment missed the fullness of his work. They didn't read that the talented 10th is was then the responsible to aid the non-talented 90. percent in achieving a better life. Instead, the segment has created another class, a buppy class, that looks down on their people and aids them in a condescending manner. They tell themselves they will never achieve what we have. Their selfishness does not allow them to be able to work together on any project or endeavor of substance. When they do get together, their selfishness lets their egos get in the way of their goal. Their so-called help organizations seem to only want to promote their name without making any real change in their community. They are content to sit in conferences and conventions in our hotels and talk about what they will do while they award plaques to the best speakers, not the best doers. Is there no end to their selfishness? Oh, no little smart snide things to say today, huh? Because it's the truth in what I'm speaking. You put on your best ties, your Windsor knots. You put on your pencil skirts. However you squeeze them over the pencil, over the newest BBL, or however you put it over the beer belly that you acquired in between the meetings that you have in betwixt the meetings to have more meetings. And you tell yourself because you're able to buy a tailored suit or a name brand skirt or shirt or whatever, you've done your part, so you deserve to celebrate. However, you have missed the mark in which you are supposed to be hitting. You were given this opportunity to enrich yourselves and at least be an example to the people if you are not going to be hands-on. However, you guys have used every opportunity to spit on the community and turn your face up, turn your nose down, and look upon people who have not gotten it in a way you have gotten it as though they are disposable. And the issue is you were once there. And the only difference is you are willing to betray and deceive in order to get there. But you hide those deeds and throw whatever goodness you have in everybody else's face, but you have not told the dirt that you do. Understand? So there are some people in the community who have no doubtably done well for themselves, but they have blocked the way for others because they tell themselves they are justified in their actions. They are the unofficial gatekeepers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I was in Proverbs, right? I was in Proverbs. I happened to drop into it over the weekend and I sat with it for a while because in Proverbs is direct instruction. It's instruction on to how to understand a man, how to understand a woman, how to understand. And it's not just about understanding the woman in your life, a physical, tangible woman, but the feminine in your life, period. And also the feminine that is in you. Sometimes when you take on a certain thing in your life, you forget to become familiar with it. You have to take your time and become familiar with every facet of your life, or else you'll be a stranger to it, and then someone who has actually studied it will come in and introduce you to something in your life that you're supposed to already be well versed in. That way you are able to betray yourself more easily because you've lended trust on the outside instead of having trust on the inside. Please don't let any of my words go over your head. Thank you very much. All right. So in Proverbs, there is instruction. There is definite instruction I shall give you, because God is very plain with us and not confused at all. However, a lot of people have been taught to teach the Bible in a way that it does confuse you and make you go roundabout on yourself. And that is not any of my job to do. I am not dedicated to any large group that would have me render you helpless in this education. So I will give it to you the way that it is written, and it is for you to take upon yourself. Test the spirit. Okay? So, yes, this is Proverbs 5. And really, Proverbs 5 goes great with every bit of Proverbs. So don't let me take away from your journey. But I'll start here from 5. But it would do well for a person who likes to take and put in, right? So let me just start with 5, but you can definitely start from 3 or 4 so that you can have a whole thing. Okay, so my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my understanding. Hold up, I need some water because somebody going to try to play right now. They're going to try to play. It's too early. It's Sunday morning. You wake up on demon time. That says something about you. That says something about you. All right, Evangeline. Evangeline, show your little light. Show your little light. Evangeline. Weird. Anyway, my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow down thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of the strange... For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shoulderest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, and that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy war far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger, and thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of men are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his goings. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sin. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. All right, so that was Proverbs 5. And it is plainly said that when you do not know of thyself, when you do not know, when you take upon strange women in strange lands, women that you do not know, have not taken the time to know, have not given yourself pause to know, there you will fall into wicked. You will betray yourself. You will betray your community. You will betray a lot of things, especially the Lord. Because idolatry will come in, you will start to worship things that should not be worshipped. Even if it's not the woman itself, it should be of the flesh. It should be of the material things that you did to get that person. It should be of the job or the position. And then you'll start to think yourself so great and so grandeur. But really, you understand? So you have to be careful of the flesh that you partake in. That is true of the man and the woman. If you take upon somebody and they give you a false sense of security, and you take upon that false sense of security and you go other places with it, you'll find that people will start to poke holes in whatever that farce is, whatever that facade is, and you'll find yourself betrayed because you and only you took pride in what that is. So don't be surprised when you get knocked down on your falsities. All right, that there, excuse me. Aaron Richards, I'm so sorry, that just came out. Aaron Richards has something to do with this Richardson Associates, this lawyer. I think he's a criminal, he's an inmate or something like that. He was sent in as a mole to do something and get some information. Boom, that's what that is. From the meandering, something about meandering, acting as though he's crazy, but maybe, I don't know, he might have some diagnosis, might have studied a few things and realized that this is how I have to act in order to get a lesser deal. But this is the thing. When you go to jail, you get a release date. When you go into a mental facility, you don't get a release date. You get a bunch of, we'll see, we'll give you more medication, we'll see. And I've worked there too. So here's the thing. Whatever this guy is doing, there's a lot of money being paid. And I'm not talking about to the lawyer. Whatever he's doing, there's a lot of money being paid. He's finagling something. There's a lot of finagling going on, and that he's not one. He's not a one and done. There's a lot of finagling going on. Someone's using prisoners to do things. They're able to get places and do things that other people, upstanding people, won't do and don't do. So they are being used as moles as well. So don't be surprised. Sometimes you might have a very good acting prisoner. He's only there to get information and to look in your face. So pay attention. Pay attention. Use your discernment. Everybody can be used to do everything nowadays. There are double agents everywhere. Even children, especially children. A lot of them children don't know that they're being used in such a way. So be mindful and make sure you can live with it. All right. So that part was Proverbs. That's where we are. That's where we were. Okay. Yes. Ooh, I did neglect to put my head cover on. May God forgive me for that. But yeah, I had to get that out because someone didn't want me to say that for some reason. And I can feel it. I can feel that pull. But that's good. To God be the glory, and to glory be to God. Because some things just need to be said. And there was a scripture that I ended up reading, even though that's not where I was going, but I did it anyway. But when I read it, it felt good. Okay, so Psalms 11. Now I'm going to get my head covered. Yeah, Psalms 11. Because I like to be faithful, you see. In the Lord put I my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart. This is true. And the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness, his countenance doeth behold the upright. Amen, Selah, so be it, so let it be. Oh, how terrible are thy out of thy heavens. The Lord, oh gosh. Was that a pimp slap or what? I think he was saying just let me talk to him for a minute. I'll hurt them over there. Touch not my anointed. Let my son go. I'm over there. I'm killing everything over there. And I didn't mean to say it like that, but that's what the daggone thing said. Okay? All right. Yeah, so let's not be holding his children captive for any reason that you might see fit. All righty, all right. Good news. This ain't a marathon. This is a marathon. This ain't a race. This ain't a marathon. This ain't a race. This is a marathon. It ain't a race. This ain't a marathon. No, this is a marathon. This ain't about race. Okay, thank you. You may not think I'm the smartest, but God knows that I'm honest, that those that lie be smaller, pray for them to be taller. God convicted my mother, rest in peace to my father. Every day I go harder, these unpredictables bothered. He died on the cross, protect us from the loss, only for you to ignore the book he gave for a cause. How dare you not give pause, no memory loss, no trauma to recall your power. Too much trauma to recall your power, so your enemies toss. It's going to be okay once you find your way. Just a page a day. This good news here to stay. Hate will be replaced. Give your heart some space. This is a marathon. This ain't gonna be about race. That part. That part. Linger wings, niçoise salad, oxtail rice. I'm just reading as I go. Because some things, I wrote this in the dark. Dark heart. I think I wrote this before a long time ago, over a year ago. But the things go back around. I wrote this in the dark. I feel this is my time to impart. No forbidden fruit. No evil eyes. Lips tell lies. Karmic disguise. Awaken, realize, laws of the skies, open your third eye, tower moment, bye-bye, tarot reader, surprise, Apollonic franchise, seek truth, will thine press, play, no mind, rewind, I smite with thy voice, but I kill them with divine. All right, I wrote this in the dark heart. Okay. That part. Now we get on to the tarot. How are you this morning? What's good? What's going on? What it is, what the business is. Word on the street. Jeezy know how to handle his. Get your mind right. Let him talk to him. Get your mind right. Let him talk to him. So Jeezy. Oh. We only had that one darn song, that one daggone album. My president is black, my Lambo is blue. Yeah. Well, that song will go down in history as the only song sung like that. Maybe not. We'll get a chance to play that song as our national anthem again. One day. All right. So we've got Aquarius and Pisces jumping out the window with this one. All right, something I needed to say. Somebody keeps a better schedule for the ops and their homegirls than they do for their kids. Something should be said about that. Why are your ops and your homegirls on a better schedule, a healthier schedule than your kids? Might I ask? Trying to figure out why those kids don't have a better sleep schedule, a better meal schedule, or a better anything schedule. Why? Is because you're too busy signifying, you're too busy gossiping, you're too busy on your own devices. Okay, so your ops are not more important than your children. Your homegirls are not more important than your children, and this goes for the boys too. All of what you're doing are not more important than your kids, unless you're outside doing things for your kids that are not going to end up putting your kids in karmic debt, or being ran down on the police, or putting your baby mom in a position to she has to watch her back because you didn't put her into something. Yeah, try to keep those things in line. All right, because we're blurring the lines too much to the point where we don't know what selfish looks like because everybody's running around lying. Okay, all right. So right now I've got 20, a 2 and an 8 out here. So that's 10. So somebody's getting wish fulfillment and somebody is not. This has been coming out a lot lately, a lot of people. So we've got King of Cups, emotionally balanced, compassion, diplomatic control, balance, supportive leader, tolerance, empathetic. So somebody is definitely on their king stuff. They are able to sit on their throne and be okay. They can be unbothered. They can be bothered if they choose to be. But really, why? You have to actually show them a reason. Kudos. Peace. Anyway, so yeah, let's do that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful that you have good discernment. Peace. Anyway, yeah, so this is what this is. And then we have the two, making difficult decisions. Yeah, some people have to make decisions. They may not know why this decision has to be made. It might be for the greater good. So sometimes you have to test the spirit and go on somewhere. Difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, and deadlock. See? Sometimes you have to make a decision and you have to stay there. And that's okay. You never know how things will work out if you didn't wait for it to play out, okay? And that's okay. So someone is being disappointed, abandoned, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, leaving behind. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hey, hit the road, black. I said hit the road black, so you must be black. Or you must be in the black. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. It might be good for you to go on into the hills and the valleys and abandon yourself or be abandoned. However it is, someone's disappointed, they feel abandoned, might be abandonment wounds, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, leaving behind. See, some people, when they left your life, they decided that they were doing you a disjustice. However, some people were happy for you to go because you weren't doing anything in there anyway. You were just blocking the energy and you were negative. So when you walked away, you actually did someone a favor. However, you thought you were doing them a disjustice. I'm so sorry. You made yourself more important than you were, actually. It actually freed up some space, it freed up some time, it freed up a lot of things when you got the heck out of the way. Sometimes a person just needs you to move the hell around. And if they ask you, you might not move. But if you think it is your idea, that is the best part about somebody who wants to play reverse psychology on you. You wait for it, and you allow it to happen. And this is how you allow someone who wants to play reverse psychology on you to play themselves. They thought they were important when they left. They did not know you had changes to the locks as soon as you heard the thing click. Kudos to you. So someone actually got their wish fulfillment. They got someone to leave. Someone was actually able to manipulate the energy so much in the relationship that they got someone to voluntarily leave. Although that person thought that they were doing you dirty by leaving, they did exactly what you wanted them to do. Now, be aware, there are some people that instead of wanting to be the bad guy in a relationship, they will do things to make you break up. That way they can go other places and say that it was your fault. Be prepared and love it, embrace it if you happen to be the villain in someone's story because they wrote it that way. Allow that book to be written. Allow it to be written. Sometimes the best place you could be in someone's life is the villain. You want to know why? Because they don't have to come back. The problem is some of these people go and call 911 because they actually delusionally in their mind believe that you are a villain for letting them walk away. Interesting. I think it's because once they walk away and you lock the locks, they're like, hold up. They got what they wanted. Let me back in. No. So since we're here in Pisces, we're in the Delulu land here. Oh boy, let's be in Pisces. We're in between Aquarius and Pisces. I have no idea which one I want to take really, because they both could be some very, very daunting adversaries. I tell you. So yeah, this is wish fulfillment. Somebody actually got the chance to lock the door, and somebody's upset because they can't get back in because that was their plan anyway. They were going to do the push and pull thing with you, and they were upset that you put that butt in a deadbolt. Yeah, you see the deadlock at the bottom? Yeah, you see that deadlock. The deadbolt hit that butt. Yeah, baby. I like it like that. Yay! I'm so saying I like it like that. Yeah, puppy. Oh. Live la vida loca. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to stay up here. Yep, in Pisces. How are you? How are you? That was the Pisces reading. What's up? What's up? What's up? Que pasa? Yeah. Whew. Interesting. All right, Alex and I had a wonderful, wonderful meal yesterday. We went out for burgers and we enjoyed the outside. Everybody was outside enjoying themselves. Some had on jackets, some didn't. And everybody was cool. There were so many nationalities outside. You had to enjoy the fact that you were looking at the whole world's melting pot doing what it does, moving about easily. So, something about variety. It's something about variety and international. It's about mixing up the things, being able to seamlessly transport from one thing to the next without losing one's identity. That. Okay, that. Being able to enmesh yourself into other cultures and be diverse without losing one's identity. That is important. That just came. That was just straight in real life time. Hadn't written that down, but it's a thing. It is definitely a thing. I don't know why I was pushed to say that. So we have the two at the end, a unified love partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, connection. So this might say something about somebody's union, being able to seamlessly go into another person's area or culture without losing identity. So this is going to point to someone specifically. Someone is getting into a marriage or a culture, or they're getting to learn someone else's culture. And the most important thing, what they need to know, is when they go into other people's culture, do not be quick to shed your own skin. Do not be quick to throw away your own culture. Do not downside or condescend yourself to anyone else's culture just because they might have things that you appreciate or you like. That is not an excuse to talk down about your own culture. That is not an excuse to throw away or ostracize or condescend your own culture just because you find something great about someone else's. We all have things that matter. This is important to someone that I'm saying this to. So we have this one. This is the only thing that came out in the second spread. This is the Aries. Aries, this is Emperor energy. Aries doesn't have to be an Aries, but this is the energy. Emperor means it's someone who's trying to take charge, who wants to be a leader, who sees themselves in leadership. Now, it's very important for you to know how to be a leader. In order to be a leader, you also have to know how to follow. In order to be served, you also have to know how to serve. So anyone who does not know how to do that is not really ready to be a leader, okay? And that goes with the language and the mindset and the actions. All three have to align. If they don't align, then someone is out of order, and there will be something that will happen that it won't work, okay? It won't work. So, Ace of Cups, love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Okay, so in Aries or Aries energy, someone wants to take charge in love. Someone wants to offer, or someone wants to make plans. Someone wants to go into a union, or they want to introduce themselves into someone or someone's culture. Someone wants to know about someone's culture, spirituality. Yeah, somebody wants to join or mesh something. Somebody's curious. Excuse me. Sagittarius, Capricorn. This is the Aries reading. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Taurus, and Gemini. These are the signs that are on these two cards that are next to each other. Interesting. That I have a king and a queen together. Hadn't paid it a mind in the spread. So we have one. This is what came out. This is the Aries. This is the one. Ace of Cups, which is love and unified love. And then look who pops up next to each other. These darling people, they look cute, don't they? She's looking at the pentacles, which means she's very smart. She's very mindful of the things she spends. She's very mindful of the resources. She pays attention to what she has and what she does not have. She's also good about regenerating, and she's not so quick to just give out the coin. So that's this chick. And this is the emperor. This is the king of swords, head over heart, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity, authority. He makes great decisions. He will cut your head off. He will cut you off at the slightest slight. He's not about to play all his games with you. Come out of your mouth wrong, you will be escorted about and thrown into the courtyard and done away with. Okay, so these two lovely people are the bomb. I like them together. I like them together because they're not going to play with the kingdom. They are going to be objectively right. They're going to be unbiased in judgment, and they are going to be very smart with the resources. They are both going to not be playing games with people when it comes to them. So the mental clarity is, this is the couple that's about to come together. I do not know how. I don't know in which way. Somebody's about to meet their Queen of Pentacles, and someone's about to meet their King of Swords. The King of Swords is going to be very protective of his woman. He's going to make sure she has everything that she needs, so nobody else can infiltrate and give her or take anything away from her. He's going to be that type of guy around her. He's going to enact himself as though a barbed wire fenced around his queen. And the funny thing about it is, she is going to enact herself as the same way around her king. She's going to know what's up. She's going to know what's amiss. She's going to know what's happening. Okay. She's going to know all three of those things. And I think this is going to be a very well union. And take what resonates is going to be Aries. Wow. Aries, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Taurus, and Gemini. Doesn't have to be these signs, but these are the attributes. These are the personalities. Yes, 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 yes. Someone is coming into union with their Queen of Pentacles and their King of Swords. And both of them have their own. So it won't be a thing of resources. It'll be a way to just manage it and grow. So kudos to those who are coming into great union with those. Okay. Happy manifestation. That is what's up. So that was for the Aries reading, and that was quite refreshing. That was beautiful at all ways, and it was a 1. So definitely the 1 is important. This is it. There aren't a bunch of relationships like this. This is going to be very, 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 very specific, okay? So use your discernment, and don't be afraid to walk away from people who aren't the one just because they seem like it. If they're not it, you know, you could play it cool. Don't be so quick to latch on to a person until you really understand if that is the one. There will be signs and synchronicities to let you know. You just only have to be aware of them. Not so much aware of what your body does, because the body can betray you. It's what your heart and your head says. It's those little things, those little nudges. You'll get the little nudges. They won't come from your libido, okay? You'll get the nudges, but they won't come from the libido. The libido just means that you're fertile, you're healthy, and it works, okay? That's great. But overworked libido is no good for anyone. You can't give the best that you got because you're giving it out to everyone, okay? So be mindful of retention and strength. Be mindful of that because you're going to need your strength for a queen. Why would you get with a queen, or why would you get with a king and then give them half of what you got? Not saying that you need to jump in and give them the whole entire thing right away. But what I'm saying is, when you finally do make that journey, and I mean when you finally do, which means that there should be a time from once you meet until the time that you get to that, so that energy is built up between you two, and that knowledge is built up between you two. Because one thing you don't want to do, especially if you're a celibate woman or if you're a man who has retained themselves, you do not want to waste that on somebody who you're not going to still be invested in. It's more worse for a woman who has decided to hold on to herself and to waste it on someone who did not deem it precious, or who isn't going to invest in her the way that she is invested in herself. And likewise for a man. So Some men do cherish themselves. They do not lay with everyone. They do feel as though their manpower or their man seed is precious. So to just give it out to just anyone would be an insult to them and their lineage. And we do need to bring that type of reservation and respect back to the male species. It is, of course, it is good to sow seed, but good seed, not just seed. You understand? Hopefully you do. All right, so let's go on to Taurus. Let's do a shuffle. Yes. Hopefully I'm helping you in a way that you need. And you're not trying to over apply things. You're able to organically let these things take place in your heart. If this thing is a little hard for you, then maybe there are more lessons that you may need to learn outside of this. All right, so now we've got 15, which is a little bit of obsession, but it's not so bad the way it came out in the cards. Please let me explain. Okay, so in this Taurus, we have the Dark Knight. So we have someone who has seen a bit of the dark side. 1111. I love that those ones came out like that. Okay, so we have a bit of the dark side. Someone has been doing hard work. Somebody has worked hard. Someone is actually, they've had a dark past. They've had things happen, and let's just say life is life, okay? And that doesn't mean that this person is going to stay this way. That means that this one has room for growth, especially if you're younger, right? So hard work, productivity, routine, conservation, efficiency, responsibility. Maybe this person hasn't started out so well. They did make some bank. They were able to come upon things in life, but it wasn't always the best in the best manner of ways. But Temperance is here to say that someone is trying to learn their lesson. They're trying to balance in harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning. So someone is trying to shed the karmic ways. They still know how to balance the dark. They have been in the dark. They have been submerged in the dark. In fact, a lot of their money has been made in the dark. However, they're trying to balance out their chakras and they're trying to come into the light. It has been an uphill battle because it's hard to get out of the flesh when the flesh is so tempting. See, you may have a guy or a woman who knew how to make their money. Maybe they got over a couple of times. Maybe they were able to access some things not so quite the right way a few times, but they're starting to realize the error of those ways, and they know that they can't continue down this path without running into some issues. So someone is actually trying to repent and atone and trying to come out of that side in order to go to the next side, because they don't want to be looking over their shoulder or having to depend on these ways in which they got their money before. They don't want to keep doing that. But what they are obsessed with is getting out of it and trying to get to the other side of the coin, right? So Temperance is balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose finding, and meaning. This is the Temperance here. So what I say that turned into a 15, I'm going to say this with the 1, the Ace of Swords. So someone has mental clarity and they're having a breakthrough, new ideas, and they're trying to surgically remove the bad parts that are them. And it almost is obsessive. It almost is a fixation. They are fixated with growth. They are fixated with getting to a better mindset. However, this is what I will tell this person. Sometimes, how can I remember how Bumpy met what's her face? Vanessa Williams in that movie in Hoodlum. Remember how he was hard-pinned criminal, but the thing is, when he met Vanessa Williams, he wanted to be a better guy, even though he was getting money under Madam Stephanie. He wanted to be a better guy. He wanted to give back to the community. He wanted to be a good man in that woman's life because she was a good woman. And it's not to say that he didn't have good attributes and he didn't have good intentions. It's just that he had already had his hands so very deep, far into the dirt. Now, for some, there are people that are just as, that basically can compare themselves to that very exact thing. But for others, they're not so far deep down into it. And there's a way for them to remove themselves and disconnect themselves and get to calmer, clearer waters. Hope this helps someone who knows that they're not too deep in, that they can actually go on and disconnect and walk away now and save themselves a lot of trouble going into their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s. You won't have to worry about these things. Maybe you can go into politics. If you're in your 20s, there's still time for you, okay? If you're in your late teens to your 20s, all the way up to maybe your beginning 30s, there are things that you could do to retro a lot of your bad karma back. You just have to stop now, okay? You have to disconnect now. You have to walk away now. There are some that are in their 30s and 40s who may have a saving grace moment. There are even some in their 50s and 60s that may have their saving grace moment, but you have to be able to disconnect and walk away now, and be okay with being transparent. You have to be transparent, because this is the thing: when you're ashamed of the things you did, that also puts you in a mental prison too, and that also gives someone a box in order to lock you into. If you're afraid of the things you did, this is why you have to make sure that the things that you do you can live with, and make sure that the things that you say, especially the things that you text, you can live with, because if they come back to you in your face in a court of law or anywhere else, you need to be able to reason with that and accept it as it is. So make sure when you're doing things, you can live with it. For so often we take our youth for granted. We take our 20s for granted. We take our 30s for granted. We take these text messages for granted. We take these messages and these emails for granted. When you're doing these things, and they're now in black and white, make sure you can live with it. Before you hit send, before you hit post, make sure you can live with it. I'd hate for you to become undone during a discovery. All right, so that's Taurus. Was that? Yeah, that was Taurus. Okay, so that was Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising. We have Aries, we have Taurus, and we have Sagittarius. So that was a lot of fire, and that was a lot of earth, scorching the earth. So somebody's trying to burn a file, clear a file, delete a file. Somebody's trying to get rid of old friends, old friend groups. Somebody's trying to get rid of an old email, something. Someone's scorching the earth, which means they're very passionate about trying to start over and turn a new leaf. Someone's trying to get out of it, okay? Someone's trying to get out of it. All right, come on, Geminis. Come on, Jimmy Gems. I am the gem that I say I am. I am a gem, a gem. All right, yes. Multifaceted, very shining, wonderful, in every way, hard content. What is it about a gem? Gems have properties. Gems are also represented in stories. They're represented in zodiac. Gems is something precious about a jewel and a gem. All right, come on, Gemini, let's go. It's something precious. And see, this came out first, and I went and reshuffled, and then it came out again. So something is telling me that this 2 wants to be here. And this 8, what? And then it's 5, okay. So somebody is abandoning a situation, an institution, a group, or something like that in Gemini, or is a Gemini. We're in Gemini season. Somebody's walking away from something. And we have Libra, we have Pisces, and we have Taurus. Okay, these are the 3 cards. And this, again, this goes to 15, not 10. So somebody is obsessed with either walking away from a group or getting someone to walk away from a group, something like that. So this is the blind decision right here. This is just 2. And this difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, deadlock. So maybe someone's locked into a group or they're not. It's something. Let's keep going. So this is the 8. This is the disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, leaving behind. And it's came out twice together. Someone wants to leave. Someone wants to get away. Someone is locked on the decision. They want to get out of something. Someone wants out of something. And I have a Libra and a Pisces on these 2 cards. Someone wants out of something. And this is the Gemini. And then we have the 5. So this is the Hierophant, which points to institutions, tradition, religion, society and its rules, social approval, conformity, forgiveness, bonded mercy, wisdom, trust. There's that hidden society. There's that special group, that's social sector or whatever, some people that hang together or some people that came together to get some things done, something like that. So yeah, there's a Libra and a Pisces locked in a five with a Taurus. So they're locked into some type of agreement, situation, a contract or something. Someone wants out of this bad. Someone wants to escape. They want to abandon the team. They feel abandoned in the team. It's something like that. It's something about all of you guys being together and none of you guys being together. All of you, but got you guys are together, but you're apart. So nobody can really trust anyone at this point. I don't know what kind of group this is, but yeah, this Hierophant group, someone wants to get away. This is too difficult. It's a lot of disappointment. It's people leaving behind. There's escapism. It's just too much. All right. So all this coming to 15 just means it's obsession, it's fixation, it's deadlocked. It's so much going on, and nobody can really move around. Really. Everybody's kind of tied in by going into this contract, but there are people who wish they'd never done it at all. So yeah, that's what that is, and that's for Gemini. So I'm going to get out of there because that energy didn't even seem like it wanted to be talked about. That energy was like, just go on, just don't talk about that, just go on. Okay, Gemini, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna just stop talking about it because it's in the cards. Okay, so yeah, let's get on over to Cancer since they don't want me to say whatever it is because the group just kind of feels like a little doo-doo heads right now. I'm just going to be childish like that. They feel a little poopy-ish. You know, duck, 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 goose. Duck, 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 goose. You're it. Something like that. So everybody's playing duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. It's weird. It's childish, really. Then that one heavy-handed kid goes by and they say goose and they pop that one kid and then the other kid get up and beat him down and nobody wants to play anymore. We had a little guy named Carl in our class. He was like little. He was little, but he was a grown guy, and he would beat up all the regular size kids. I guess because he had a small guy's complex, but he was really little, but he was really strong. His name was Carl. I remember. Shout out to Carl. I don't know if he's still alive or not, because he was a ruffian. I mean, he put them hands on you real quick because he was so little. He just walk up with you and beat you up. I think he beat up Leonard before. That was funny because Leonard was big. All right, so Death and Transformation, Page of Swords, and this is Cancer. Cancer just came out just like that. All right, so we got Death and Transformation coming out here, and then we got the Page of Swords here, and then we got the 3, which is the Empress. What's going on now? Death and transformation. Somebody has died into their self, or they whatever deeds they've done. It's time to put them down. It's time to put them down. Somebody's been euthanized. Somebody's been taken out. Somebody has been put into a coma. Something. Somebody's health has been compromised. I don't know what this is, but this is death and transformation. So maybe somebody is starting to see the error of their ways, and maybe, I hate for somebody to wait until they get all the way on it. And I'm not saying that they can't do it, but how you do all this all your life, and then you wait until the thing go beep 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 beep, and now you is apologetic about all that stuff you done did. Dang. Interesting. All right. Imitation of Life seems to just pop out of my mouth right now. Imitation of Life. But any one of you known that movie? It was about the girl who passed for white, but she wasn't white, and her mother instructed her to take advantage of her passing. And I guess her mother then became angry at our being able to pass forward. It was something like that. Imitation of Life. Go ahead and listen to it. I don't know what made me think of Mahalia Jackson at the same time I'm thinking of Imitation of Life. Maybe it has something to do with the time period or something like that. But Imitation of Life, Mahalia Jackson. I often don't say things without them meaning something. Okay, so the death and transformation, that's the 13 endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, and end of cycle. Sometimes death and transformation can be positive to some people because they realize that they have to put down one thing in order to pick another, and that is great. That is refreshing. Kudos to those who actually had the discipline to put something down in order to pick something better up because they chose life, right? And now the Page of Swords, new ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, and new ways of communicating, restless mental energy. Yes, somebody is learning how to communicate in different ways, maybe through some people are learning silence. Some people are learning that they can get more accomplished by saying a lot less. And that's what's up. So yeah, some kudos to whoever is trying to learn something different. They're putting a death to their old ways and they're starting a life with the new ways. And that's what's up. So now we've got Empress energy coming out here. And that was 13 plus 3, which makes that a 16, which makes that a 17. So someone is turning into a star. Somebody is definitely trying to refine themselves. They're trying to find their way, and they're starting to realize that the better they become at being them, the closer they are to being the star in their own life. Kudos. All right, I like that Empress energy. Someone is starting to realize that they are the emperor or empress in their life. They don't have to follow behind others to be great. They actually just need to hone in on their own skills. Everybody has skills. It's just that we're so busy looking at the oohs and the ahs on the television that we all want to be on television. All great people aren't on television. I can tell you that. Most great people aren't on television. They're happier too because no one's in their business and no one's trying to Google how much they earn or how much they got or things of that nature. They're able to be regular people. So that's the upside to some people knowing how to be great people and knowing that they're awesome without having to be on the telly. Okay, so yes, there are magnificent people that you will never see on the television, and that is to their advantage because you people Google every damn thing. You don't need to know how much everybody earns, especially if you're not doing the thing and you're not going to do the thing. And furthermore, you don't need to make as much money as this person makes if you're not doing the things this person does. Okay, so be careful of coveting somebody's earnings, not knowing exactly what goes into that thing. Because sometimes people are earning so much because they have to pay out so much. You get me? Yeah. So be careful wanting to be that multimillionaire. That multimillionaire has to pay multi-families and people and lawyers. They have things to take care of, and they can't afford to make less than that because the turnover rate underneath them is going to change if they don't make that money. So be careful of trying to get up somewhere where somebody else is, not knowing the inner workings. Okay? Yeah. That part. All right. So yeah, with that 16, yeah, we're 7, we're complete. So yeah, be the empress and the emperor in your life, and no, everything doesn't have to be with public recognition. Sometimes you need to recognize yourself and be able to be easy. The happiest rich people are the ones that you do not know and you do not Google. They're happy as hell you're not in their business, and they can walk past you without you knowing exactly who they are. The happiest rich people you do not know, and they're happy about that. All right, so that was that for Cancer. Interesting in a Cancer's reading. The happiest people aren't known. The happiest rich people, the richest people, especially sometimes you're rich in just privacy. Privacy is a wealth nowadays. People are always in people's business. They're always Googling something. They're always looking up. They're always trying to get their information to see what they got going on. Do you know what you got going on? A bunch of nothing. And you want to know why nobody's Googling you? Because you ain't doing shit but stealing. Nobody wants to Google that. Not unless they're ready to get you arrested. Ooh. All right, Leo. Big Cat, what's going on, Big Cat? Hopefully you're not in the big scams, Big Cat. Oh, boy. Smells clean in here. That's what's up. No demons. All right. 2 and 10 and boom. We're good. We're good. This energy is great. Leo, Leo, Leo. Somebody's got a big presence. Somebody's got a big heart. Somebody's got a big presence. They've got pizzazz. They've got it. They've got it in the tens. They've got it. They've got it. I don't like that angle. Okay, so yeah. 2, unified love, partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, and connection. Boom. There you go. Then we've got 10, which is wish fulfillment, divine love, harmony, blissful relationships. Oh, it looks like a lot what happened in that Aries reading. I like that. Pop over to that Aries reading. It's wonderful. We'll wait until the end. So divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family contentment, total love and support. Someone is definitely loving and supporting. If not themselves, they have someone else, and that's beautiful. Sometimes coming into union means just coming into union with yourself. You're able to sit by yourself and love yourself. Oh my goodness, it is a wonderful thing. So we've got Cancer, we've got Pisces, we've got Sagittarius, we've got Capricorn in this Leo reading. And this is wonderful because it says that they're mindful. It says that there are a lot of emotions here. It says that there's passion there, and it's also some kind of logic, because the Capricorn does point to logic, able to have logic. Okay, nurturing, practical, providing, financially a working parent. So someone is able to nurture, even if they are not a parent, they are able to parent, which means that they're able to put aside resources. That means that they're able to hold back. They're able to nurture an environment. Even if they are not a parent, they are able to parent. They know how to go into things, and they know how to have consideration for people. And that is a big skill set. A lot of people have been given, that they've been selfish, that they don't really have consideration for people. So if you actually happen to have someone who actually is considerate, and it's not a divisive considerate, they're not considerate because they want something. They're considerate because, hey, you might have wanted that seat. Hey, I know that you don't like the big fork. You like small forks. Hey, I know that you don't like the window seat, so I saved this seat for you. When you come across somebody who is just considerate, they have consideration. No, they like, maybe they took out the food for you, or they knew that you like the crust part. So they made everybody eat the middle, and you got the corner. They saved the corner from you. That type of consideration doesn't come around so long. Or you got a partner who knows that you like a chilled glass of wine. So before you get off of work, they didn't quite put the wine. They may have forgot to put the wine in the glass, but they did at least consider to put the glass in the freezer for you so that you had a chilled glass. You know, that sort of thing. Remind yourself to try to be considerate in relationships that you actually want. And be mindful of people who are just divisive. They know how to study you and do things to act as though they're going to be the person in your life, when actually they're just weakening your defenses so that you believe that this is the person that you're forever. So be careful. Some people have long game. They will study you. They will become everything that you want in life and still give you nothing. That also means that you need to also be prepared to walk away at any given time when you realize this fact, okay? And not be heartbroken in the house, like busting windows out of cars, okay? I bust the windows out your car. So somebody actually got some sort of thing like this, and they almost had it hook, line, and sinker, but someone decided that they didn't want to be together anymore, and they have to be okay with that. When a person decides that they no longer want to be with you, let them go. Don't let nobody tell you they don't want you twice. All right? And this is not an original, but it is a repeat. All right, so 2 and a 10 means a 12, which is 3. Someone is getting a whole nurturing relationship that is about being actually okayed and approved by God. So yeah, God actually went and sat on somebody's bed and was like, all right, that's it. That's that one. What you gonna do? Either you gonna do it or you not. Don't let your mom, your sister, your friend, your cousin, the neighbor, the shopkeeper, don't let nobody come in and tell you nothing different. What you gonna do? You gonna be with this one or not? God is giving somebody an opening right now in real time to be with somebody. The window is open. All right, so somebody's got God on their tail about a union. Somebody got God on their tail about a union. Okay, I ain't gonna say I don't know who it is. Only you know. Okay, somebody's got God sitting on the bed right now. I don't know if you felt the weight. It's a little small thing. Sitting on your bed, asking you what you gonna do about that girl, about that man. What you gonna do? Because I know you want to try them out, and they've been hanging around. Y'all been having a conversation. What you gonna do? Because I don't want you around them kids unless you got a responsibility to them kids. What you gonna do? I don't want you in that refrigerator unless you gonna be in there putting stuff in that refrigerator. So what you gonna do? So somebody need to figure out what they're gonna do. You gonna play around? You gonna let your friends and your family take you out of relationship again? Because you already know they don't want you to be with nobody. Because you being with somebody would mean that they would actually have to look at their partner in the face and actually understand what a real relationship look like. So what you gonna do? You gonna allow your social normals or whatever you got going on to take you away from this union you got staring you in your face, or what? What you gonna do? Because it's here right now. You got to stop playing games with yourself. You got to stop thinking there's more out there. You got to stop thinking, oh, well, if I hold out, I'm going to get this. Look, you getting an opportunity right now. What are you going to do? You going to play yourself out of position again? You already done said in your mind, this person is this, that, and the third. You going to let somebody come in and sway it? Because the only person supposed to break you up and make you up is you and that person. So what you going to do? You going to play your games all your life? What you going to do? I hate when people go to God and be like, oh, I want this and I want that. And then God drops somebody right in their face and then they play. And now you wondering why now you got a whole succession of gold diggers and scam artists in your face because you played in that one person's face. I'm telling you, every time God drop one on your face on you and you play with them, he send you a bunch of comics right after because you like to play. Stop asking God for stuff and then you play in people's face. I don't know who that's for, but God is telling you right now, you got an opportunity. And you better not let your family, your friends, the shopkeeper, or nobody else, them new pair of tennis shoes, oh, well, I can do better. No, you can't do better because guess what? They could have did better too. Stop making yourself so damn important that you forget. Other people could have did better too. There was better than you. There's always better than you. No one's irreplaceable, but you're not going to get that same one. You're not going to get that same chance, okay? You're not going to get that same formula again. All right? So stop playing in people's face if you want people to stop playing in yours. All right? That was Leo's. All righty. So let's go, Virgo. Let's go, Virgo. Woo! Virgo pops right out like bam. Sometimes you gotta pop out and say something. Certified boogeyman. All right, so the world: contemplation, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, arriving. Yeah, sometimes just. I was getting tired of that person anyway. Anyway, so yeah, contemplation, completion, okay, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, arriving, the world. Okay, so the world theater is here. Something is being played out all in front of everybody. So it's here. And it's completion, arrive, celebration of life. Somebody's ready to travel. It's a lot going on. It's like the world is your oyster. Somebody's got an opening. They've got an opening to just go on and do what they have to do. And now the Page of Cups, creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy, surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, new love. Okay. Somebody's got a fish in their cup, which means that they need to be very curious about any and everything. Ask questions. Double take, look, research, whatever it is, take opportunities, but go into them well versed and known. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to take your time and get to know it. Turn it over a few times in your hand. Yeah, so somebody's going forward toward the world and they should go and just be glad in it. Ooh, that's nice. Conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationships. Oh, shucks. So somebody is getting access to the world, but There's a conflict? Why is there a conflict? Which brings us to what? This is a 5 adding to the 21 because that's the only numbers that are out here. That brings it to the 26, which makes this karma 8. So somebody's going to go under judgment for karma because somebody has been trying to cause conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bully, theft, abusive relationship. So someone is trying to abuse someone because of their choices or opportunities in life. And it's Aquarius energy. So somebody is an air sign, somebody is Aquarius energy. So somebody thinks that they're cute. Somebody thinks that they're being freaking funny. Somebody's trying to be a clown. Okay, somebody is actually trying to cause conflict with somebody's freedom, somebody's world. Somebody is trying to be very sneaky. Somebody's trying to set a trap. Somebody's being very divisive, very strategic. I don't know how this is going to work out, but it probably won't work out well, especially if it's anybody in my collective. They're not going to go down for that. Okay, so be mindful of people trying to be sneaky and cause conflicts and disagreements because somebody doesn't want you to be happy because they're undoubtedly not happy. Okay, so someone with Aquarius in their chart, Jupiter and Aquarius. So somebody really mischievous. They're a real clown. It's like a real court jester type of situation. Like Joker to the Batman. So somebody wants to be forever and it's just not going to be. Somebody's going to find themselves removed from somebody's life if they don't get it together, honestly, because this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, somebody's definitely a loser. Okay, so yeah, pay attention to anyone who's trying to come into your opportunities, make themselves a wedge. Check all paperwork, bank accounts, emails. They might be putting yourself into, putting you on callers list, putting you on sexual ads, things of that nature. Because I've had a whole jump. Like sometimes when I go into my spam, all I see is sexual innuendo. And I know somebody has undoubtedly just signed me up into a bunch of stuff because they just want to be annoying because they have no, they're a loser. So only losers put people through things like that, and they'll undoubtedly get their karma. Don't fret, just delete it. Don't try to unsubscribe because for some reason it has scammers that are hooked up to them buttons too. Just delete it or screenshot it and report it somewhere officially or something like that to a real site. Yeah, and just don't worry about it because this is how people gang stalk. They try to annoy you to the point where you end up doing something that you shouldn't do and you end up being scammed all over the world because this is how that works. They want you to get into a position where you're always frantic and always having to fill out reports and stuff and you can't go forward in life. So just be mindful of anybody who might come by and try to start stuff with you. Anybody who might have your information, who might try to make a fake profile. I had people trying to copy stuff off of my page all the time. Well, I just had people that sit there and listen to me word for word, and then they go on their page and say almost exactly what I said. Or they just go by my hair or stuff like that. It's weird stuff. So don't pay people no mind. Take flattery where it is and let insult be insult because it makes you no difference. The fact that all these people are paying you attention and trying to get up under your skin means that you are going somewhere in life. People don't usually rob empty banks. So when you find yourself being targeted by lesser individuals, give yourself a pat on the back and keep it pushing. Don't make it more important than it have to be. It ain't. 9 times out of 10 it ain't. So Virgo, sometimes you really do gotta say, you know what? They ain't nobody. Because every time they try to make me nobody, they make me realize that I really am somebody, especially to them. So this was the Virgo reading, 21 and 5. That takes us to 26, which is karma. Somebody is going to get karma for messing with you. And it's going to be okay. You keep your dharma and you don't go back messing with them. All right. Sometimes you got to be like the Matrix. You got to duck them. You got to duck them and dodge them. You got to move out the way. You got to be Neo because they be gunning for you for no reason. Why? Because I put on this shiny black coat. All right, so that was Virgo's reading. Don't worry about miserable people. They'll be miserable long after you've been happy. And there are some people that will follow you everywhere on social media, everywhere, just because they want to sneer at your happiness. Weirdos. All right, so now we've got Libra popping out, opportunities and King of Cups, and we've got Queen of Wands, we've only got the 8 coming out. Ain't that something? We only had the 8 the last time, and we got the 8 this time. Look, show you the cards. The 8 popped out, and that's it. Which is August, which is Virgo, which is Leo, which is everything that we just talked about. So sometimes you just gotta let people be. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want you to be, and sometimes you just know that you are. Know that you are. The great am that I am. When God put you here, he makes no mistakes. No matter what you're going through, no matter what it is, he made no mistake. You are here for a reason. Take your place and go forward. Go forward. Okay? So yeah, in this Libra, I am so hungry now. I'm getting hungry. I did not eat. I didn't snack. Yesterday we had burgers. Oh my God, it was so good. I think I'm going to make a little egg and kipper this morning. Egg and kipper with some onions and stuff. Oh my God, this is going to be so good. So, speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, air travel. So there's a lot of communication going on. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff in the air now. Sagittarius, which is shooting true. Some of it's going to be direct. Some of it is not. Okay, so we've got the 8, which is karma. Karma and dharma. So someone is going to have a good time, and somebody is going to get the data they deserved. King of Cup, emotionally emotionally balanced. I said imbalance. I don't know why I wanted to say imbalance. Somebody's imbalanced. Somebody has a chemical imbalance. Somebody has a brain imbalance. Take your medication. Take your medication, not some medication, okay? If you're not prescribed Percocets and stuff like that in nature, stop taking that stuff. You are putting holes in your brain for no good reason. There is a real drug in Percocet, okay? Which means that the drug addicts that you make fun of, you are slowly becoming exactly like that, and probably even worse through the chemical compounds that are mixing together with your brain, okay? And serotonin and serotonin. If you are taking serotonin and you are not prescribed serotonin, what are we doing here? There are real drugs based in those medications. So when you are medication seeking and when you're doing things, not only are you messing it up for people who actually are in pain and who actually do need the stuff to maintain their lives, you're making it bad on yourself because you're messing up your life. You're messing up your brain. You're messing up, and then you're going out and you're interacting with people, and then you're creating a stigma. And you'll say, well, I take this and I take that, and that's my medication. And now when people hear about the medication, when they see the behaviors and stuff, you're creating a stigma that you don't even want. Okay? So be mindful of what you are adding to the relationship with you, the stigma, the medications, everything. You are either adding to the environment or you're taking away from the environment. And when you guys are running around taking prescription drugs that are not yours, you are creating a stigma around prescription drugs. People that are in pain can't get the medicine they need because of the presentation that you've carried around, things of that nature. So a lot of the community suffers when people do things without thinking, and they present in ways without thinking, and then they give these information. They say, well, I don't do this, I take these for that. And there are people around that are taking notes about these things. So what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Right, you're creating a stigma that you don't exactly want established, but you have established it by your own deeds. Pay attention to that. Right. And why are you speaking down on people with habits just because you pick and pull whenever you want to take a pill or not? There are people who can't help it. And you tell yourself because you can get dressed and dress fancy, you have a right to put labels on people when you yourself identify with every bad label you put out there. Like, there are some real hypocrites out here, and y'all need to be exposed because y'all too quick to throw labels on people that don't belong when y'all are the very thing that y'all claim other people are. And just because you can get in a car or pull up to a decent neighborhood, that does not remove that label. It makes you an incel. Anyway, sorry, I had to beat on somebody real quick. Okay, so in Libra, then we have this Aquarius, and we have the Pisces, and we have the Pisces and the Aries again. We already had this emotionally balanced, and then we have this Courage, which is the Queen of Wands. So emotionally balanced, compassion, diplomatic control, balanced, supportive leader, tolerant, sympathetic. Then we have Queen of Wands, courage, confidence, independent, focus, zest for life, determination, joy. So we have another couple. Somebody is actually, excuse me, good God. So with speed and rapid movement, wow. We have another couple. The King of Cups and the Queen of Wands is out here. So we also have some healers. We have a healing couple that is out here. Maybe they are already together. But this is an opportunity for them to get in something. Maybe they're already together. This doesn't look like someone that did. Okay. This King of Cups has a soft face. He's not, I gotta choose my words because people are so literal around here. All right. So this King of Cups, he has a softer face. He has a strong jawline, but a softer face. Maybe he looks like his mom. Because I don't know why I'm seeing faces right now. There's a King of Cups he's handsome. He looks like his mom. He's handsome. He's very handsome. Has a long jaw set, a strong nose, but he looks like his mom. You see it? I don't know. He looks like his mom. Okay, and then we have a Queen of Wands, and it's crazy, right? She looks boyish, but she's cute. She has a little small face. She has a little small face, right? But she looks like a little tomboy. And she's the queen. You see her? You see her? Like, I don't know. She has I don't know. So there's a handsome guy, and he has she's not a plain Jane. She just has this beauty. She's a natural beauty, okay? This is a natural beauty. So even when she's not it's funny. So this is a couple, and maybe the man is prettier than the woman a little bit, because this is what it looks like. It's like the man presents a little, but if you look at the woman, she's pretty too. It's just the man is more, I don't know, I guess more, I don't know how to say this. I don't know. So yeah, there's an attractive couple. They're together. And I guess the man is more lavish, I'll say. He likes to dress. He likes more attention than the queen does. He likes to put himself out there more so than the queen does. I should say that. She's a little more humble than he is. He likes to be seen, as you can see. She's okay in her gold robes, her gold robes and things of that nature. She's more, she's something else. Like, he may be more it seems like this king is more I don't know, he's softer than his queen. And it's not to say that it takes away from being a king. It's just that she'll be more to ride the horse than he would. He would be in the carriage, and she'd try to be ride through the forest, and he'd be wanting to be carried in a courier or some stuff. He more fancy, and she's just like, oh, caution to the wind. Let me go on and hit these hills. So something is like this. Somebody is about to come across a different type of situation where the man is more coddled than the woman, or something like that. It's something like that where the man is a little more fancy and the woman is a little bit more like, she really ain't bothered by one thing or another. Interesting. This is going to be a very interesting situation to see. Okay, so look forward for this in Libra season or Libra Sun Moon Rising. We've got the Sagittarius, so this is at least going to be true for somebody. This is a direct hit. This is a direct hit, okay? Direct hit to the heart. Somebody's going to be the Cupid. Somebody's actually going to get hit by Cupid. That's funny. Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. So there's going to be a lot of thought, a lot of communication, a lot of travel, a lot of opportunities. So this union might not hook up the way you think it is. This is going to be probably a business. They're probably going to be orbiting around each other before they even realize that they're going to be together. So this is what's happening in Libra. This is going to be a balancing. This is going to be a balancing act. This is going to be cute. This is going to be really cute. This is going to be like a real nice love story. Somebody's going to see somebody. Somebody's going to realize somebody is the bee's knees. You know what? This reminds me of that part in the Transformers where the guy who was pretty dark, which I was explaining earlier, the guy, remember when he got the materials, he was recycling the Transformers, and then eventually he met the girl, the Asian girl. She was the assistant, and then eventually she had to save his life, and then he was like, oh my God, I love her. But at first he was like, he was kind of mean and stuff like that. Go to that Transformers, the one with the bald head one with the glasses, and I think Stingray, the one with Stingray and Bumblebee in it. Yeah, that Transformers. That's gonna be like that relationship. The man fancy, right? But he gonna learn how to come up off his high horse when he meet a woman that know how to get her hands dirty at the same time. She know how to be fancy too, but she know how to get her hands dirty. And he gonna be like, yeah, I like her. Yeah, I like her. It's gonna be like that. So yeah, we gonna have one of those bougie guys come down to earth. So there's going to be a bougie guy that's going to meet a queen, a real empress that's going to make him balance out his thing, because maybe he a little too high on his horse. You see what I'm saying? So she going to balance him out. She going to get him straight. She going to get him some straightening. Oh, shucks. I love it for y'all. All right, let's get over to Scorpio, because Libra was long. And yeah, that's karma and dharma. Somebody is actually, they going to get a partner that humbled them a little bit. Whoever this king of cups is, yeah, you got it like that. But let me show you how to distribute it. Yeah, this gonna be the one. I remember I pulled up to this guy when I used to have my white Challenger. I think that's why they ended up, I know that's why they ended up messing up my car, because they didn't like how my swag was when I had my white Challenger. I remember I pulled up to this guy in his white Challenger. He was driving I think he was driving a Corvette, and he was driving it, and I was mad the way he was driving it, because he can't drive. I was upset. And I was like, let's trade cars, because you don't know how to drive your car. And I was dead serious. Like, I really felt like he was disrespecting the hell out of that car. He wasn't doing the thing that you're supposed to be able to do with the thing. Like, honestly. And yes, I'm still a street surgeon, and this is why I do not drive right now. Because one, they mess up my cars. And not a shout out to McCrae Way, because whoever they was at McCrae Way, they messed up my car even worse after I paid $1,500. Damn near $2,300 for them to fix my car, and they still messed up my car. And then this little ugly wife tried to fight me, because her husband kept staring at me in my eyes. I'm so sorry. I gave him something to look at, but I wasn't trying to take him, because any man who would be a jellyback to you would be a jellyback when it came to me. No, thank you. No, thank you. He can't fight his own battles. You trying to fight all up in that man's shop. That was crazy. Yeah, so somebody about to get up off their high horse. They think they all fancy, but they need a woman that's gonna bring them down to earth and show them how it's really done. You ain't fancy till you fancy from the inside out, okay? So yeah, Scorpio pop up. I don't even know where this came from. This is the personality. This make me want. Where my hoop earrings at? I got studs in. Shoot, I should have hoops in right now, because I feel like. Where did that come from? It was like somebody like the sassy, and it's Scorpio. I know somebody like the sassy. That's what it is? It's the Scorpio. That's where the sassy coming from, because it's like Yeah, I got the urge to. Yeah. And I don't even be on here like that. I don't even talk like this. Uh. Why am I out here like this? Who snapped like that? Somebody snipping. Somebody snick. Somebody smicking. Page of Wands, Queen of Swords, and then we got the 3. Who be popping it like this? Who is popping it? Somebody is popping it. Okay. Inspiration, ideas, discovery, limitless potential, free spirit, exploration, excitement, freedom. What it? Unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communicating, clear-minded, perceptive, maybe. So we got Virgo, Libra, and Cancer out here. And that's a 3. Third party. So it's a clique of them. It's a clique. It's like a clique. Because this is why I'm talking like this. Is this how y'all politic? Is this how y'all be doing it? This how y'all be doing it? Yeah, that's how y'all politic. Alright, Scorpio. So this extra ghetto reading right here. I don't know why it's gotta be ghetto like this. I don't know who is passing the stigma right here. So celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, friendship, community, happiness. So it's a bunch of them together and they talking. And it's the Queen of Swords, unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communicative, clear-minded, perceptive. So somebody had the inspiration and the unbiased judgment to cut the celebration because they know they need to go to church this morning. Somebody need to pray. They realizing that their friends that put them in a situation where they need to go to God. So that's what that's like, Scorpio. So Scorpio, somebody finding out that their attitude and all of what they got going on, they need to go ahead and take it to Jesus. They need to take it to the King. They need to lay it at the throne. They need to leave him there alone. Yes, they do. Whole life is torn to pieces. They need to take it to the King. So somebody need to realize they need to go get an exorcist. Somebody need an exorcist. Somebody need to go to the altar. Somebody need to go to the altar call and lay it all on the altar. Because what they got going on is they done took on a bunch of burdens from their friends, their families, their baby daddy friends. They done took on all of these ideas and they think that they gotta be where everybody see them as. Like take somebody that think that they look a certain way or they think that they, feel a certain way. They taking all the ideas that other people have come up with them with and they just trying to be it because, all right, say I'm young with a body and somebody say, oh, you should be a model. And then somebody else come and say, oh, you should be a singer. You're a rapper. You got the body, you got the looks, you got the this and that. And somebody, they try to go out and they try to be everything that everybody came up and said that they should be. And through being all of these things, they done turned into a not so good person. Well, somebody is starting to realize that they took on so many of other people's opinions and they done tried to do so many of what other people said that they should do that maybe they've kind of ruined their own perspective of their own self. They took in so many people's opinions that they stopped considering theirs. So maybe somebody's probably taking a chance to maybe meditate. Maybe let go, maybe go to church, maybe prayed about it. Maybe somebody's starting to realize that they've taken on all these other people's expectations and they never covered theirs. Maybe they just wanted to be happy. Maybe they just wanted to be a good mother. Maybe they just wanted to be a good father. Maybe they just wanted to be. Maybe they just wanted to work a regular job. Maybe they didn't want to be a hustler. Maybe they didn't want to be the big thing on the block. Maybe they just wanted to be happy. And instead of taking their consideration, and they didn't never take consideration into what they really wanted. They always follow what everybody thought that they should do. They always let somebody come and sit next to them and coax them into something that they probably wouldn't have picked up had that person not came around. And somebody's starting to realize that they've worked so hard being everything to everybody else that they haven't worked hard at being anything to them. So maybe God is making an intervention for somebody or setting somebody down or setting somebody away from the group so that they can understand that they've been everything to everybody else and they really haven't taken the time to invest in themselves for themselves. Hopefully this helps somebody. Okay? That was Scorpio. Good. I'm happy that we went into it talking ebonics, but we came out of it with a straight mind. That's what's up. I like that. So somebody maybe is getting talked down into themselves. Maybe they're starting to realize that the personality that they're projecting out isn't all them. Maybe some of it they can identify with, but maybe they didn't have to go so hard to push that personality. You understand? So somebody's maybe figuring out that all of what they doing, my phone tried to reschedule some stuff. Yeah, so all of what they doing have to be done. Okay, so yeah, somebody's starting to realize that. And that's okay. It's okay to go ahead and apologize and retro some back. When you realize that you've tried to be everything to everybody and nothing to yourself, that's a humbling moment. That's a humbling moment because now you can take back your power. You can take back their expectations. You can take back the validation you thought you needed from them and start validating yourself. And you'll realize you'll get more sleep. Even though people will stop visiting you as much and calling you as much because a lot of people will get upset because you don't want to jump through the hoops that they presented for you. Be okay with that. Sometimes you don't need those people around. You don't feel comfortable being yourself. I would feel uncomfortable with somebody who always wants to push me out of my place. I remember the one time I was in the office. I was in the office and I was happy when I got up that morning. I was happy when I got dressed that morning. I put on my lotion and everything. And I smelled good. I looked good. People in the office was fine. And then I had this one person come past my office. And when they walked into the office, the first thing this hoe said to me, she didn't even say good morning. She said, "Why you ain't got no makeup on?" And I remember looking at it. I was like, "Because I don't need none. I'm in the office. I'm working." And that person was so taken aback by what I said. It was like, "How is you cool? Why would I have to have makeup on in the office? Well, I ain't looking. I ain't cruising for no husband. I ain't looking for no woman. I'm working amongst paper. Why do I need to put on a whole face full of makeup to do not one damn thing? And either way, it's my face. It's my prerogative, right?" And this person always took offense to that I always said that. Every time they came at me to challenge me about what I had on or what I didn't have on, I would absolutely be okay with what I had on or what I didn't have on. And this person just always was like that. We're no longer associates. I don't no longer talk to that person. But the problem is, a lot of you have people in your life and you don't think about it. You didn't never make it that deep, but it needed to be that deep. Stop letting people come around you and play with you like that. Because that was a play. The best way to respond to that would have been, "Why? Because you ugly, you got to put a crayon to your face in order to get out and come out in public every day? Because I don't need to put a crayon in my face to come out and put them in public every day." That should have been my response. But I didn't respond like that. I would always just say, "I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that." But I would have put that person, I would have stopped that right then. I would have nipped that in the bud had I just went on and insulted that person the way they were insulting me. So, what did we learn? Nip it in the bud. Right then and there. Sometimes you got to cut people off at the pass before they keep continually trying to knock at you. Because a lot of people don't realize that they have low self-esteem when they allow themselves to keep coming at you. So sometimes you actually do got to be that ugly person. And yes, eventually I did end up being ugly. You go put the crayon to your face. I don't need to paint my face like a clown before I come outside. Clown. Okay? So that was for that. Let's get on over to Sagittarius. Isn't that wonderful how Sagittarius is You don't have to be. People take advantage of nice people, not kind people. You don't have to be nice to people. Sometimes when people see that your response is too calm, it's too comforted, they act as though you a punk. They think that you weak because you don't have a natural inclination to bite everybody's head off. But when you see that twinkling in that person's eye, when they realize that you didn't try to offend them, that's when you need to go and get the chompers. You need to go on there. Because they're going to keep playing with you until you put an end to that. So be aware, use discernment. Hey, I've been there, baby. I still got people still thinking that I'm weak, not knowing that I got this good southpaw. But fortunately for them, they can't fight. So they gonna light a candle on me. They gonna pass rumors. They gonna do everything but pull up and say something. And some will actually pull up because they still got something to prove. And they gonna try to pull up with with a bunch of people because they think numbers intimidate. But that's when I learned one day you just grab the biggest one and you return them back to the thing, and then that's when they'll walk away. But when you realize people get a twinkle in their eye when they playing with you, that's when you pull out the showstoppers, because the people will follow you all your life. Trust me. They be like, oh, I can pick with her because that person won't fight me. Not knowing I won't fight you because these hands is registered. That's the only reason why I'm trying not to fight you, because God said don't run around trying to fight people. And that's why people try to lock you in your Christianity. This is why people be like, you're not supposed to do that. You said you was Christian. No, God smites people. He smites people. Fire and brimstone. And this is why you got to remember, Jesus is a thug. Is this my thug moment? Or is this not my thug moment? Okay? So sometimes you got to have that internal dialogue. Is this the time to come out of the bag, baby? Or is it not? Sometimes save your moments, because I'm trying to tell you, when God tap you on your shoulder and say, get him, you better step. I'm trying to tell you. And this is what I'm saying. Most people that's like that, they ain't trying to fight everybody. They ain't trying to wage war with everybody, because they know what's going to happen. They know the damage is going to happen, and they know they're going to jail. So a lot of times they not trying to do it. So just be easy, breezy, and know that God walks with you. Jesus walks. Jesus walks with me. Don't, da da don't, da da don't. Don't. Ooh, hey, you got to put that in your head. You got to, Jesus walks with me. And you got to know when your time is your time, because I'm trying to tell you. Oh, remember them guys in the furnace? Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego? Remember when they went in the furnace? Because they had to follow what God told them to do. Sometimes you will find yourself locked up in a space, but don't worry, okay? You're going to come out, but trust in the Lord, and he going to lead you the way. Trust in him. Sometimes you're going to have to step on out a bag on a person, because people like to try. The same way they tried Jesus. They're going to try you because you one of his. And when you walk more closely with him, that's when they test you more, because they like, nah, you ain't about that life. And you praying and you saying, I'm praying. I am. And then when you hit them with a David, because they was trying to be Goliath, everybody want to be hurt. Everybody want to be hurt when you hit them with a David, because they was trying to be Goliath. Remember, Jesus did pardon Barnabas. What did Barnabas do? Let's just not go there. Anyway, anybody seen the Book of Clarence lately? I think that was a great soundtrack. Nights over Egypt. Oh, nights over Egypt. Do, 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 do. Nights over Egypt. Yeah. The Book of Clarence. Nights over Egypt. Woo! Hallelujah. Did I hit in the Sagittarius yet? Did I even get into Sagittarius? Because boy, when I got to talking, baby. All right, so now we in Sagittarius. 10-12. I like how the number came out. 10-12. That might even be Book of Eli is wonderful, but the Book of Clarence. The Book of Clarence is funny. It's supposed to be a satire, but also it's just telling of the parallels and the parables and how things go. You got to go into it. It's about a false prophet who's actually tried to walk the walk of Jesus, but he wasn't walking the walk of Jesus. He was trying to steal credit for what Jesus' walk was. Be aware, be aware. And that was Lakeith, the same one that played in Sorry to Bother You. Wonderful. All right, so 10 of Cups. Then we've got the King of Swords. Then we've got the Hanged Man. We have Pisces, Taurus, and Gemini out here. Yes, indeed. We got 10 and 12. And then we've got this Neptune here, which is the Trine. All right, so we've got divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family, contentment, total love and support. Hey, here we go. I have wish fulfillment. Somebody's getting wish fulfillment, even if it is not with another person. Someone is in union with themselves, and that's the best union to be in, because when you meet your other half, both of y'all will be complete. Both of y'all have things to do. Both of y'all will have. Y'all will have so much. Y'all couple will run it over, and guess what? Your kids will get it. All right, amen. Amen. So, and even if y'all don't have kids, the kids in the neighborhood will see it and they will have something to go off of. They'll be like, you know what? I want to be like that couple down there. They love each other. They love each other so much. They take care of each other and they don't hurt each other and they don't cheat on each other. And the kids in the neighborhood gonna be like, I like them people because they are good and they are happy. And whenever they have a cookout, they might slide me a hot dog or two. You see what I'm saying? So even if y'all don't have kids, you could be an example to the neighborhood of how love's supposed to be. You're always an example. Love is always an example. That is the best palette in which to paint. That's the best colors. Yay! Vibrant. So someone is being stuck and surrendered. Somebody is stuck. You got them stuck in the ethers. Somebody's stuck in the ethers. Oh my God. Nas, where you at? Where you at? What is it? AZ. Remember Nas and AZ? I'm sorry, I'm telling my age. I got them stuck in the ethers. They don't know where I'm coming from. They never know. They never know. They never know where I'm coming from with this. All right, so somebody's stuck in the ethers. They can't understand how somebody's happy. They can't understand how somebody's found a relationship. They're stuck because they've been praying for your downfall. They've been praying for you to be small. They've been praying for all these other things to happen in your life, but it ain't happening. How about they start praying for them? How about they start praying for some good to happen in their life? Why are they so worried about what you got going on? You mean to tell me that every day you wake up and you get on your knees and you go pray for somebody else to not be so well? What are you praying for? Are you wasting your prayers? You should pray for something else. All right, so somebody's stuck on stupid because they can't understand how you are getting your wish fulfillment. They are trying to figure out how you are not in your feelings, how you are making head over heart decisions and you are able to be okay with letting people go. Somebody's stuck. Somebody is stuck. They can't understand how you happy and they not. And they supposed to have everything that you don't got. But why? Why are you happy? You don't have what I have. Why are you not happy? I tried to take everything from you. I prayed against you every day. Why are you happy? Because I'm happy and I got the Lord. That's what's up. Pop my collar. Because I just am. What? I am that I am. I'm the gem that I say I am. If I'm precious in the Lord's eye, why you can't see it? That's all right. Close it. All right. Don't wink with the thing you think snake. All right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm precious, whether you see it or not. That's why when you pray, you should pray for you and stop praying on me. That's what's up. So, Sagittarius, we are at the standstill. Somebody's stuck in the ethers and you're not. And it's going to be okay. What is the number? 22. 22 happens to be the number. I ain't making it up. So there's the 4. And the 4 is the foundation. So somebody's foundation has been built on a bunch of lies. And they okay with that. They put a couple of Swarovski crystals on it and a couple of moissanites and you tell them it's diamonds. But what you over here doing with your little small one, you're doing your big one with a real diamond. You are the diamond in your life. It don't matter how big or how small it is set in your system. It is set in your temple of gold. Yeah, they might have got a wedding ring with a bunch of dust crystals in it, where it got more metal in it than it got diamonds, but they married. Yeah, they might got the bank account, but they owe everybody. It's all right. Yeah, they might got the big house. You might got the little apartment, but it's yours, and you get to cook and clean whenever you want to. It's yours. You understand? So people are not under. Sometimes people get all the blessings that they want. They get everything, and they still ain't happy because you happy. Sometimes you smiling with not a damn thing is the thing that pisses them off. They sitting in the mansion with all the money, the man, the everything in the world, and they still can't be happy because you. Ain't that good? Somebody praise the Lord. Somebody is pissed off because we happy today. Not because we got everything in the world. Not because we got all these people in our ear. Not because we got all this money in the bank. We happy. And that's priceless. Somebody pissed, boy, they on fire. They on fire. They telling their diamond ring. They telling their makeup. They telling their kids. They telling their husband. They telling their friends. They telling their dresses. They telling their shoes. How the fuck is she happy without all this? Because I got glory. I got a joy. I got happiness. I got God. I got life. Yeah, I got a right to be happy. You got all that to clean up behind. You got all that to claim in your pit. You got all that to keep. You got all that to count. You got all that to recon. You got all that to dust. You got all that to take care of. You got all that to watch. You got all them people to respond to. I ain't got none of that. I got me. I got joy in my heart. Hey, hallelujah. So Sagittarius, you doing your big one. You free. You shooting true. Shoot true to your heart. Be your own wish fulfillment, so that somebody can come along and say, hey, that's great over there. It's peace over there. I ain't got to bring peace over there. And remember, when a person come over there to your peace, make sure they bring their own share of peace. Don't let nobody come to steal your peace. Let them bring peace. If they coming over there talking about I need peace, you need to tell them, go on somewhere over here. Go over there. Because the deficits is over there. We in peace. Some people want you to be their peace. How? Be your own peace. And then we could peace be still together. But if you coming over here with all of that craziness and I'm in peace, what are we doing here? You coming to take. Don't let nobody take away from your peace. Cut it off. All right, let's get over to Capricorn and Aquarius, and we are done. Hey. Be peace. Be your own peace. Before you go trying to ask somebody be your peace. Are you peaceful? How you want peace and you're not peaceful? You don't walk with peace. You don't walk in peace. You are not peaceful. So how dare you ask for peace? You are running a deficit and I ain't paying that bill. Peace. Be still. Somebody 49.94. Somebody 49.94. And we got foundations of the love. We got somebody's foundations, childhood memories, all those things that go with it. All right. So we got celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, homecoming. So someone's foundation. Page of Pentacles, manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, diligence. Definitely. If one or the other in the relationship does not have such things, how can we curate peace? Be able to manifest. Be able to sit and have a positive thought and build upon that thought. Bring that thought to fruition. Once you have the thought in your head and you're able to materialize it in the world, how dare you not say that ain't magic? That's manifestation. Yes, it is. If I see in my mind that I want to start a grill, and when I start that grill, it's going to smell up the place. It's going to make me hungry, and then it's going to feed the rest of my family. Why not I bring this part of manifestation to my life? Why not if I sit on the side of the bed and I think about a melody, and I think about a melody long enough that I actually think about some words to put to the melody, and I put it together, and I actually go and write those words down, and then actually get somebody to recapture that melody, and I put it all together. That is manifestation. That is magic. But in the same way, if I put in my head a negative thought, And I say to myself, I'm going to take something away. I'm going to make this person not smile today. And then I go into my phone and then I find a social media post, or I find their number to text, or I find something of theirs and I think negative upon it. And then I see this person have a negative impact or something like that. Now I have manifested destruction in my life. So be careful what you are putting energy into. Why are you so dang angry? And in the words of Joker, why are you so serious? Even that clown smiled in the darkest of days. Anywho, so now we've got this 9. And the 9 is divine. Okay, start praying, baby. We got the 49. 49 is 10, 11, 12, 13, which is death and transformation. 49. 49, somebody's 49 or born in 94. Someone needs to have a death and transformation to all the things that they've brought forth. They need to put it to the side and come back better. Sometimes you just got to come back better. You don't got to start from ground zero, but you do have to start from experience. Start from where you know and keep catapulting yourself up, okay? So fruits of labor, rewards, luxury, self-sufficiency, financial independence. So someone is definitely trying to come into financial independence, or they're learning how to be. Sometimes financial independence does not mean that you have a lot of money in the bank. It means that you know how to work with what you have without asking others for it. Or you know how to work with what you have and you know how to get the resources done without putting yourself in a situation to where you're going to be in debt, or you're going to end up in trouble, or something like that. So that's what financial independence means. It does not mean that you have money above money above money. It just means that you are able to live without having anyone else's input. You are able to make moves without having someone else move them for you. Okay? Hopefully that helps with your Capricorn reading. And Capricorns are very good at watching the money. They're very good at putting their lives together. However, they get to the point where they get a bit boring because they get a bit bogged down. And that makes sometimes people get into a lack mindset. They get scared. They get scared to get better. They get scared to improve. They get scared to take chances. And that's okay to an extent. You don't want to live that way because now you've put yourself in a mental prison. So once you've gained your financial independence, be sure to put things in place to where you are able to still reach up. Don't ever put yourself in a position to where you're afraid of success. You're afraid to take a chance to make your life better. Always have some fallback money. Don't work out of your budget. But know that there will be chances for you to elevate. And those chances do look like a gamble. But if you don't bet on yourself, who else will? So be sure to make positive changes. And if you do make a gamble, make sure you're gambling on yourself and that you can bounce back on yourself. Okay? Hope this helps. That was your Capricorn reading. And let's end it off with Aquarius and we're done. Hopefully I gave you a lot of good information. There's a lot to dismantle here. There's a lot to teach. And I love teaching. I didn't realize I liked teaching until I started teaching. Well, saying the things that I say to myself to other people and realizing that other people have never been talked to or have been able to see things the way in which I see them. Oh, little bumpy bump. Oh, that'll go away. Anyway, so yeah. Knight of Swords, financial loss. So somebody's actually out in the cold. Knight of Swords, ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast-thinking, independent beliefs. Financial loss, lack mindset, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity. And then we got this 5. This is an in-between before I get to this Aquarius. So somebody bust a move too fast and it ended up making them leak financially. Somebody's got a financial leak and they need to hurry up and patch that up before anything. So look out in your bank. Make sure you're locking your cards. Make sure that there's no one who has information of yours that knows how to access your bank accounts. Pay attention to your kids. Kids will be the ones that'll take it because they always get access and they're always asking you to put your credit card number and the things that they want. So pay attention to that. Be sure to change your bank if you need to. Don't be afraid to challenge some charges, especially if you know you did not make them. And guard yourself against financial leaks, leaving money out. Somebody might know that you trust them enough to leave money out, and they may just take a dollar or two, but over time that dollar or two means a lot. So just be careful of any financial leaks. Leaving things plugged in that don't need to be plugged in for long periods of time, or just don't need to be plugged in all the time. Subscriptions that you still have that you don't even watch, leaving apps open that you don't need. Just pay attention. There's a financial leak that could put you in a situation. Be ambitious and defend your beliefs, and don't let your beliefs put you out in the cold too, because sometimes when you get into certain religious groups, they want you to pay your dues, they want you to pay tithes 5 and 6 times a week, and that is also a financial leak, because why are you paying all of these tithes in another building when you have a building that you have to reside in all the time? Pay attention, okay? Don't let these churches make you think you got to pay them bills because they turned on the lights for you. You can honestly praise God in your own church, which is your house. All right, so yeah, pay attention to your financial leaks at this time. Okay, Aquarius, here we go. One of the most interesting things about the church that I used to go to back in the day, and this was crazy. That was the church I went to get marriage counseling. I should have known that was a sign. They allowed me to marry the devil. Good Lord. Anyway, and they had a bank, and they had an ATM in the church, and it was 1040s. Like, it was very financial. That's when I was like, I don't know about this church here, because it was more financial than it was, and it was like going into a congressional seating instead of church every Sunday, if you understand what I'm saying. It was like you knew you were being judged from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. It was serious. I think that's why I just was like, it was something I just couldn't, it just didn't lay right with me. So I just stopped going. It was weird. So 811. 811. Okay, this is Aquarius. 811. Last but not least, Aquarius. Come on, Aqua. I happen to be an Aquemini. I actually happen to be an Aquemini. I actually have Aquarius, Gemini, Libra in my chart, so I am a grand trine. So it's funny. I'm an Aqua, definitely. So Virgo is all I got. I got an 8 in a Virgo here. And Aqua. I got 8 of Virgo here. Diligence, passions, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill, development, repetitive tasks. That word apprenticeship always like sticks out right now. Apprenticeship. You know what apprenticeship is when someone has mastered a skill and they actually take on somebody else as they decide to mentor or assist someone into mastering their own skills. And that's what I'm taking from apprenticeship. I don't know why. But 8 of Pentacles is mastery of your skills, taking hold of things that you are good of and mastering them, and actually bringing them into fruition to where you're actually able to build a life upon that skill. So this is what we have, 888. That is karma, dharma, whatever. So now we got the 1, which is love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, a new baby, proposal, marriage. Now, when I say a new baby, it's not always a new physical wham baby. Sometimes the baby is your business. Sometimes the baby is the baby of your idea. The baby is the idea, the premonition of something, birthing something into this life, which is a new idea, new business, a new way of life. Sometimes you are birthing a new way of life into the system. So men and women do have birth systems, and where they are birthing business plans, they are birthing new life systems, they are birthing new families, they are birthing communities. Some people are birthing communities. They're actually the one in the community that is put there in order to sow a seed. Mustard with What they saying, they saying nothing. What they saying, they ain't saying nothing. What they saying, they saying nothing. What they saying, they ain't saying nothing. Yeah, they ain't saying nothing. So yeah, yeah, the mastery of the skills, the love and compassion is there. Someone is starting to love what they do, and people are loving what they do as well. There's room for creativity. There's a new feeling about this new thing that is coming in. People are starting to appreciate the hard work that is being put into certain talents. Somebody is starting to feel the love of the universe return. All right, so spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. There will be new proposals, there will be new opportunities. There will be things growing as we go into mastering our skills. Master your skills. When people see that you love what you do, they love it too, especially when you do it in such a way that does help others. Sometimes people just need you to be an example of what they need to do for themselves, okay? And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is a beautiful card. It's beautiful. Mental clarity, breakthroughs, new ideas, success, a sharp mind, new conflict, and surgery. You have to understand the precision of this card. This just means that we're here. We are here. We see very clearly where we're going. We see very clearly what we've gone through. And we're okay with it. What we are clearly going to do is make a plan forward and get to stepping. And this has been Nyx. This is a wonderful, wonderful reading. That was Aquarius. The numbers are 811, which makes that a 10, which is wish fulfillment. And it has been a great Sunday spending it with you and explaining how life can be so grand. This is wish fulfillment. Till next time, this has been Nyx. Don't come for me. Okay, come. Bye.